Okay, guys, so we are back on track with some Ultraman news. Very important news for Ultraman being released in the US. So, if you guys saw last time, I talked about the original Ultraman, Ultra 7, and Ultra Q. All three of these coming out in the US on Blu ray and also getting a Steelbook edition as well. But we didn't know when they were coming out. And thankfully, now we know. So, the original two series, Ultraman and Ultra Q, are actually coming out on October 15th, and Ultra 7 is actually coming out December 10th. All these in 2019, by the way. Now, if you're like me and you're thinking, well, that's nice, but I want something a little bit new. Now, to be fair, I don't have the original Ultra 7 on Blu-ray, nor do I have Ultra Q. Well, obviously I don't have them on Blu-ray because I'd have to get the Japanese versions, but I don't even have them on DVD. That was the initial Shout Factory release. I don't have those, and I believe some of them are out of print, so that's going to be a decent chunk of change. So, if you're like me and you're thinking, yes, but is there anything new that's coming out? Well, there is. So, Ultraman Geed and Ultraman Orb are officially announced to be coming out on Blu-ray. I'm going to put them up right now on Blu-ray, and if you guys are watching the video and you see the pictures that are up, the movie is included in it. Straight up. So the movies for both. So they're not separate. No, they are included in the actual series itself. As someone who's a fan of anime, that's nuts to think about. Usually it's an extra $20 or something like that. But no, it's just being released straight up on Blu-ray. Here you go. Here's the movie. That's nuts to me. Now, those are coming out still this year, by the way. So still in 2019. Let me make sure I got the exact date here. If I remember correctly, it was November 19th for both. So that's so cool. Now, something that you guys might be thinking right off the bat is, oh, Matt, I never knew you were a fan of Ultraman Geed and Ultraman Orb. I'm not. I want to be. They are available if you want to get a free taste. They are available on Crunchyroll. And I don't know about a free taste, but I believe they're also available on the Toku streaming service as well. But still, I do want to check them out, so I really should in the near future. But it's just the fact that we are getting new Ultraman. Yes, in the initial statement by an executive at Mill Creek, yes, the initial statement was, hey, you guys are going to get some new Ultraman out. But you never know when that's going to be. I thought that might have been in 2020, the earliest. No, just by November, mid-November, we're going to have these two newer Ultraman. Not they didn't come out just this past year, to be fair. No. I feel like I'm Porky Pig. But so anyway, so looking at, just want to make sure I got the exact dates right here. When it comes to Ultraman Geed and Ultraman Orb, I believe they have come out within the last few years. For me, even if a Toku came out like a few years ago, it's still new to me because I have not been able to sadly keep up with a lot of newer Toku. Okay, so yes, Ultraman Geed came out in 2017 and Ultraman Orb came out in 2016. So for me, that's honestly new. And especially when looking at what Ultraman series have come out in the US, the newest that came out legally in the US, not to have English subtitles because that's actually some other Ultraman, but that we'll talk about some movies. We'll get to that in a second. But when it comes to series, the newest was Ultraman Tiga. When that came out, when Fox Box, not Fox Kids, Fox Box, were airing the Ultraman Tiga English dubs. That was the newest Ultraman. So the fact that we have Orb and Geed is amazing. There were, interestingly enough, there were some Japanese releases of Ultraman the Next, which I do have that, and Ultraman Galaxy Mega Monster Battle, which I sadly don't have. Both of those actually got English subtitles, so that was very interesting. But they're still Region 2, and you still need to have a either a region-free player or some type, maybe a Japanese PS2, to actually play the movies. But still, this is Region 1, or a region that is compatible with, it's not Region 1 anymore because it's Blu-ray, it's Region A, I believe. And and by the way, if you're wondering about some of the prices, because that was my initial concern, going to Mill Creek's website, you can see that Ultra 7, Ultra Q, and the original Ultraman are all $50 a pop, and Ultraman Geed and Ultraman Orb are $40. The difference in price is probably due to the fact that Geed and Orb are 25 episodes, even though it does include the movie, and Ultra 7, Ultraman, and Ultra Q are longer than that. They're not all 40 to 50 episodes, but they're still longer than the 25 episode runtime. So, if you think that's a bit too much, the 40 and the 50, I'll admit that I'm actually right there with you. But funnily enough, I didn't see these first through Mill Creek's website. I actually found them through Amazon, and I went nuts when I saw it. Why'd I go nuts? Because of the fact that Ultraman Geed and Ultraman Orb. I'm just going to throw that one right out there before I even get to the other ones. Geed and Orb are both $22 a pop. $22. That's less than $1 an episode. It's insane to me. Again, coming from the anime world, where usually you have these and I'm not blaming these companies that license these shows. You got to make back your money. You got to stay in business, but it is insane to me that you'll even a subtitled only release will be maybe 30 to 50 bucks, and that'll probably just be for 13 episodes until they recoup their costs, and then they can sell them as a season set. In this case, they're just like, nah, here you go. I mean, that's insane. So that's really cool. So, and then looking at the original three, Ultraman, Ultra Q, and Ultra 7, they are both $22 each. And then if you get the Steelbook edition, they're actually $28. Again, still crazy to me to think. And in that case, I actually might get the Steelbook perhaps. But no, but still, them all being $22 a pop, that's insane. So if you do want to buy these and you feel a little odd getting them at $50 a pop, maybe you just don't have that kind of cash, I hear you. You can still get them through Amazon, and they're all legit, so it's still money going back to Mill Creek and Tsuburaya. Now, you would think that is where this news ends. I wave and I say, tell me what you think in the comment section down below if you're watching this through our YouTube channel, TG Productions. But you would be wrong. You would be wrong. We also know what new shows are coming up, newer for the US audience, obviously, in spring 2020 and summer 2020. Let's talk about some of those right now. So, spring 2020, we are getting Return of Ultraman. Yes, we are getting Ultraman R&B, the series plus the movie. We are also getting Ultra Fight Orb. I totally know what that is. I'm about to Google what that is. And we're getting Ultraman Ace. Before moving on to summer 2020, just want to comment on some of these. I was under the impression that Ultraman Ace was released on Crunchyroll. I was wrong. Boo me right now, boo the screen. When it comes to Ultraman Fight Orb, you can boo me for that as well. That is a mini series that is actually a spin-off of Ultraman Orb. So that's pretty cool. It's actually 30 minutes, so I don't know what they're like overall. They're 3-minute episodes. Overall, they're 30 minutes. There's only 8 of them. I don't know how much that's going to sell for, but I mean, you put that out for 15 bucks. I mean, if a whole series is worth 22 on Amazon, if this comes out for like 12 to 15, kind of like one of those Garo movies, or the ones that are a bit shorter than that, really more of like the TV specials. If you put it out for that price, so be it. I'd be into that. And looking at, so Return of Ultraman is very close to my heart. I really enjoy what I've seen from that show. I actually have some of them on VHS, and it's really cool that that's coming out. No hate against Ultraman R&B. That's actually the newest series, other than, of course, Taiga. That I'm pretty sure that's actually the newest series that just came out in 2018. So that's really cool. That 2 years later, we're actually getting this. This is nuts. Like, I feel like Mill Creek and Tsuburaya saw what Shout Factory was doing, and they were like, hold our ultralight. Just hold it. It's actually the Ultraman's light, but it's just a lighter version. It's like Bud Light. Hold our Hikari no Ultra. So Ultra no Hikari. That's the I don't know Japanese, but what I do know is that in summer 2020 we're actually getting Ultraman Taro, Ultraman Leo. We're getting Ultraman X, the series plus the movies. I shouldn't be laughing. It's just that I never thought we would be getting Ultraman X in the U.S. and here we are. And Ultraman Zero, the series plus movies. Interesting. Zero is so popular, I would think you'd get him first, especially because I'm pretty sure some of the stuff that we're getting already does have Zero cameos, perhaps. If you don't have Ultraman Zero cameos, forget me. Don't worry about me. But I was under the impression that he has made some cameos, because many Ultraman in general will make cameos in other people's series. Now, Ultraman Leo was available through Crunchyroll. Not sure if it still is. I don't believe Ultraman R&B was available through Crunchyroll, and Ultraman X, I'm under the impression that it was not available through Crunchyroll. I just want to check that right now before I... No, you can watch this on Crunchyroll. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Ultraman X. Okay, let me explain. For some of you guys that are really angry that I said that about Ultraman X and thought I didn't know what I was talking about. I always confuse Ultraman X with Ultra 7X. The 12 episode series that's like a half spin-offy reimagining alternate universe of Ultra 7. That's okay. That makes a lot more sense. That's funny. So no, Ultraman X is not Ultra 7X. God, I love when there's so many different shows in the Ultraman franchise. That's funny. But Ultraman X did come out 2015, so it's not that long ago. So even though, yes, that is in the summer of 2020, it seems like it's a long time from now, but honestly, you blink and we'll be drowning in Ultraman. This is so fun. Now, we don't know if any of these are going to get Blu-ray, Steelbooks. They're going to get Blu-rays, not sure about Steelbooks. I would imagine that Return of Ultraman is. I don't know, I feel like the older ones should get Steelbooks, and the newer ones just, especially if they have a presence on Crunchyroll or some other streaming service and they've had it for a while, just put them out normally. I think that, the older ones, perhaps, yeah, sure, give it a special shine and sheen with a steelbook, but the newer ones, it's just fine. Ultraman R&B, Ultra Fight Orb, X and Zero, just kind of, throw them out there, for $22, dear God. No, yeah, this is nuts. So I'm, obviously, as you can tell, I'm slightly freaking out. And yeah, no, this is, I've said this before on Twitter, and I'm going to say it again here. This is basically a mugging. I mean, this is just a back alley mugging is what it is. They are taking my money. Some would say it's a fair trade, and it is, actually. In fact, I feel like I'm taking from them a little bit, because it is insane how cheap these are coming out. I get it that they're on streaming services, so obviously you can't put them for top dollar. You might end up having some people go, I can just watch it here. So you do want to compete in that regard, but my God, this is nuts. Either way, I'm definitely going to be buying Ultraman, either Geed or Orb, in the near future. If you guys want to recommend me any Ultraman shows, because I know random splatterings of Ultraman. Like, I've seen The Next, I've seen Mebius, I've seen Ultra 7X, I've seen the original Ultra 7, I've seen Return of Ultraman, I've seen the original Ultraman. I have it on DVD. So, like, I've seen a random hodgepodge of Ultraman, but if you want to recommend me any of these series to start with first, either through a streaming service or specifically through buying them like this, please tell me down below. Either way, I'm way too hyped. Tell me which one also you're thinking of getting. I'm eyeing the cheapest ones possible. So, yeah, that's pretty much Orb and Geed. But, yeah, just tell me what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And are you looking forward to any of the newer Ultraman shows that are coming out in 2020? Because I gotta say, for me personally, looking at this list right here, Return of Ultraman, most definitely. It's straight up Return of Ultraman.